What's going on, guys? It is Drowsy bringing to you a Misriah Armory original video on how to use the Misriah mission framework mod that I made that adds components to the game for you guys to make autonomous missions similar to Arma 3 with triggers. However, in obviously Reforger, they would be called components. So I'm just going to show you guys how to use those and make a mod from the ground up, and I will be answering any questions at all. I'm also going to be displaying a little bit about the mission making process as a whole and show you guys how to do some stuff. So what we're going to do is we'll start from the very beginning. So go ahead, and if you don't have this checked in your Steam, you need to do that. So when you open up your Steam Workshop, just click on this little drop down menu, hit Tools, and then you should see your Armory Reforger tools pop up under your Armory Reforger game. So go ahead and hit launch. If you just want to use the base game terrains like Kolgoyev and Ebron, this is going to be a lot simpler for you. Which is actually just what we're going to do to keep it simple as well. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to probably, if you have no mods here, you're going to see this box is going to be blank for you. So what you need to do is add the mods that you have downloaded in your game. So that is another thing. If you don't have the mod downloaded from the Armor Reforger workbench in game, go ahead and do that. And then once you do that, come back to here. Right, so now what you're going to want to do is just follow this here, or wherever your mod add-ons are. If you don't know how to find that, it should be somewhere in your documents folder, or you can just follow the path through Steam. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add the Misriah Mission Framework mod in. So I already have it, but the way you would do it is you just click on the add-on JProj, and then just hit open, and then it'll pop up here. So then you would have this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. Let's name this Drowse or Drowsy mod showcase, whatever. And then all you're going to do is just hit the checkbox here for Misriah Mission Framework. What this does is it adds it as a dependency. So then you're just going to go ahead and click create. Alright, sweet. So now what we need is we need a world. So we'll go ahead and click the Armory Reforger folder. What's contained here is everything in the game and what makes it work. What we want is a terrain, so we're going to double click into worlds. We want Game Master, and we want to use, I'm just going to use Arland for now. So I'm just going to right click it and then duplicate to, and then we're going to find our mod, whatever mod we named or made and named, click it and rename it something else. So I'll name it Test World. So we'll go ahead and open that up, and you'll see, boom, you are in the map. So the way you move around is with your mouse. If you hold your right click and then just move it left and right, that'll allow you to move your camera freely. And then WASD is how you move the camera. Q is how you go up. Z is how you go down. If you hold left shift, if you do scroll wheel up and down while you're holding your right click and moving the camera, it'll let you go faster. And then if you scroll down, it'll slow your speed down. So those are some useful hotkeys. So we'll get into the first component, which is the music trigger. So the way you play stuff is you just click into the Mission Framework mod now. This is where all of our triggers are located. You would go to the prefabs editable folder, then hit auto, props, military, sandbags, boom. These are all triggers. These are all music for now. And then the cinematic borders, of course. So what we'll do is we'll place our music trigger here. And you'll notice it says you cannot create entities directly in the space map because it's read only. So this doesn't matter. You just want to hit yes. It's going to create a subscene for you. That's what we need for the mod, or for the world to actually be now its own quote unquote original, and it'll actually show up in the workshop as a scenario. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop our music trigger in there. You can drop any one you want because I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter, and you can change what it plays. So if you click on the component, it's right here. They all have it. It's MA server wide radius music component. If it doesn't have it, you can right click generic entity up here, then hit add component, and then just type in whatever keyword, and then it's right there. And then you can literally just click it and add it. But we don't need to because it's on there. So don't worry about these two. Leave them be. This is the only thing you want to worry about. So this is a checkbox. If it's enabled, it'll only trigger once, meaning it won't keep reactivating as people enter the radius, which is a good thing. So I would generally keep this on. And this is your radius. So from this point, in a 100-meter circle, it will activate. What it's going to activate is in this sound component. So if we hit the magnifying glass here on this respawn.acp, ACPs are what store wave files, and how we choose which ones to play is here, music event name. So we are playing for this component sound underscore music 3. So again, if we open this ACP that I made, we can go to sound music 3, which is here, and we can see that it's playing this song here. So if we scroll down on the right side here, I'm going to extend it a little bit so you can see it. If we actually click on one of these purple boxes, you'll see it changes the file in there, and that's what's actually playing. So we are playing sound music 3. Let's say we want to play we'll play this one, sound underscore music 9. Okay. So all we'll literally do is just change that. And then we'll hit left control S, which is save. So this is going to bring this up. It's only going to bring it up one time. So we're going to name this whatever we want again. So test world. And then we're going to put it in our game, in our new mod that we made. So just hit OK. So now your world's saved. Okay. So there's our music component. Next one that we'll go look at is the cinematic borders. So if you, again, drop that in there and you look at the component that's on there, here's all you need to worry about again. The radius, what you want the fade in time to be, and the fade out time, and how long you want it to hold. Fade in time is self-explanatory. Hold time means how long is it going to hold after fading in. It's going to stay. How long you want it to stay until it starts fading out. Layout you don't need to touch. The title text is what you want the text to be at the top. Subtitle, of course, what you want the text to be at the bottom. You can set the text of the title and the subtitle font if you check these two boxes here. And then re-trigger on re-enter means every time somebody gets into the radius again after it's already been triggered, so it will still only trigger once for everybody on the server. However, once it's over, if somebody again enters the radius, it'll replay again for everybody on the server. So I don't want that, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that. I want it to just play once. So one font that I know of is Roboto. So this is what I've found. I run a Halo mod. So this is what I've found looks somewhat like the Halo cutscene. So I'm going to add these two on there. And now I'm just going to go ahead. Misriah framework, just so you guys can see that this stuff does change. Left control S. So let's go ahead and get a good bit back. If you ever get errors like that, just hit yes to all or hit ignore all or whatever. So now you're going to see it trigger once we enter the radius. Might take a little bit. 100 meters is a lot shorter than you guys think. And there it is. Pretty sweet. So those are the two components that you guys can mess around with. If you have any questions about them and more about their functionality and how you could possibly creatively use them, just let me know. You can ask in the Misriah Discord link that will be posted in this video's description. So there's two more components that I'd like to show you guys. One of them is the AI group sleep component. So this one is a big game changer. So what I'm going to show you guys here is, so with any groups, AI groups in any mod, I usually just type group because they usually should have the group prefix on them, at least in the base game Reforger folder they do. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how the group one works, and this only works on groups. If you place singular and AI that are not groups, it will not work. Do not expect it to work. It only works with groups. You can get around that by placing a group prefab and then just getting rid of all of the other AI prefabs in it, which I'll show you how to do in a second. So let's go ahead and let's just place a rifle squad. So what we're going to do is in the AI group entity class, I'm going to right click it, I'm going to add component, just type in sleep. You're going to find the component here. Click on it, add it. All you are going to want to worry about is this one and this one. Stay awake once triggered. What that means is once somebody enters your specified radius and they finally, quote unquote, wake up and they're able to move around, shoot, do everything, take damage, etc., they will stay that way, even if the players then leave that 100-meter radius. If you uncheck it, a player will always have to be within that 100-meter radius for these AI to dynamically activate and be awake, quote unquote. So I like to keep this checked, but that's totally up to you. That's what that does. So again, we're just going to keep this on 100 meters. Put them there. So let's say I don't want these guys to just stand around, right? I want them to move somewhere. So what I'm going to do is in my resource browser here, I'm just going to type waypoint. Now, if you're familiar with Game Master, so if you need to, by the way, just keep clicking the base Armory Reforger game folder at the top, and it'll reload your resource browser here. This is where everything is. If you're familiar with Game Master, you know what the move waypoints are called, right? So if I want a defend waypoint, here we go. I want them to defend a point, right? So I want them to move over here and defend that. So once I drop that component, or sorry, prefab, I now have this. And if I look over here, I have my defend waypoint. And if I look over to my left, it shows me the component right here. in my map, in my world. So if I want to edit it, I'll just make sure this is highlighted. So I'll click the entity class, and I'll scroll down on my right side, and this is all that you can change. All you really want to worry about are two things, right? Completion radius is where the AI for a defend waypoint will move to and how far they will spread out. So they'll basically do their best. Obviously, it's a big squad, so they're going to do their best to stay within this radius after completed. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger just because it is a rifle squad. Now, how do I assign that waypoint to these guys, right? Very simple. On this left side, remember when I said when we add the prefab, it gets added to the world and they show up here. So if I were to click off of that, right, and click the rifle squad, now it's selected here. If I go back and click my waypoint, now I'm selected on my waypoint. So all you're going to do is right click your waypoint and rename it. Something that you can remember. Let's just name it Defend 1. Keep it really simple. Click into your AI group. Make sure AI group is highlighted up here at the top, and then scroll down. All you're literally going to do is here where it says static waypoints, hit the plus sign, type in the name of our waypoint, which is Defend 1. Save. That's it. That is literally it. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys see it in real time. So, I'm going to go here in GM. You will see nothing is happening. They are, quote unquote, asleep. They're not going to do anything, absolutely nothing. Even if I put AI in front of them that are shooting at them, they will sit there and take it. They will do absolutely nothing. So if I also were to put, say, an enemy group right in front of them with the same sleep component on them, they would not do anything to each other. They're just going to stare at each other until I enter that 100-meter radius.
Move 200 meters northeast.
Then they're going to move. And remember, I have that stay awake once triggered enabled. So it won't matter now. When I'm out of that 100-meter radius, they will not go back to sleep. They are forever. They are good. This is now a AI group in the world that is going to function normally. Okay. One last component that is all right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do have one more component to showcase. However, it is Halo mod specific. I will work on the video for that later because I'm going to be showcasing some other Halo components that are going to be added, Halo specific components that are going to be added into the mission framework mod that you will be able to use with any mod of your choice, UC, MA, ROR, Mythic, etc. You'll be able to use them for any mod that you want, and I'll show you guys how to use that. But for now, that's how to use the mission framework mod. That's how you get to spawn dynamic groups. If you guys want me to make a video on anything specific, please join the Discord. I'm willing to make a video on anything. Just join the Discord. It's posted in the description below. And go ahead and ask me any questions in the Q&A section or even the public chat. Just say hi, anything at all, really. And I'll get to them as quick as I can. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the mod.